Welcome to Starring Stephanie Campos. This episode is for the week of March 2nd through March 8th, 2026. So much has happened this past week. I literally don't even know where to begin. And on top of it, my sister has been rehospitalized. We are literally back in the same exact hospital room that we spent 2 months in. How Mercury Retrograde is that? This time she has a collapsed lung and her G tube and J tube are also malfunctioning. For anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's how she eats. She eats through a tube, this liquid formula. She's had a G tube most of her life, but during this last stint in the hospital, her G tube stopped working. Her stomach wasn't processing food, and so they gave her a J tube, which is essentially this tube that goes straight into part of her intestines and kind of bypasses the stomach to help her get nutrients. So that's still an issue. And right now she has a chest tube and a collapsed lung. And I'm heading there in a little bit. It's my hope that I can keep this weekly episode going because I really love it so much. And also I just need to be mindful that self-care. It is important to practice what you preach. So today's episode is probably going to be a little shorter. I do want to give just a couple of call outs. Like if you're feeling overwhelmed by the world and you want to make a difference, there are some things that you can do, make a difference in one life, and that ripple effect carries out into the lives of everyone because we all are interconnected. At least that is what I believe spiritually and personally. So there are some things we can do. On March 12th, the state of Alabama plans to execute Sonny Burton. He is a man who did not murder anyone. He was a part of a robbery gone wrong, but he was not even in the building when Doug Battle was shot, and he had nothing to do with it. Despite this, he remains on death row while the actual trigger man had his sentence reduced to life in prison without parole. The state of Alabama plans to suffocate Sonny with nitrogen gas. This is a method that is so cruel it's not even used on animals. Sonny is a Muslim and they plan to execute him during the holy month of Ramadan. This is cruel. This is unjust. He didn't kill anyone. And we can write letters, physical letters, yes, to Governor Ivey and demand that she grant Sonny clemency. You can also call. There is a number and a petition to sign in the show notes. If you have not yet watched The Alabama Solution, which is an Oscar-nominated HBO documentary that was filmed on contraband cell phones by activists inside of Alabama's prisons, it is a must-see. It is heartbreaking, it is illuminating, and in direct retaliation for all of the press and publicity that this documentary has received, Raoul Poole and Robert Earl Council have been placed in solitary confinement. So we can also, again, call Governor Ivey and demand that they be released from solitary confinement. You can also download the 5 Calls app. This makes it super easy to contact your representatives and let them know what you think. The U.S. is actively committing genocide in Cuba due to the oil blockade, continuing to commit genocide in Palestine, and in a joint attack with Israel, the United States bombed a girls' school with children between the ages of 7 and 12. Over 100 of them have been murdered. This is a war crime. There was no threat. There's so much more to say about this, and I'm continuing to educate myself on Iran. And if you have any recommendations of content creators or journalists or sources to follow so I can learn more, please send me an email. Iran deserves better. I saw this protesting sign that said, bombing for freedom is like fucking for virginity. And there you go. I saw this other post that said the United States has been in an active war for 232 years out of the 249 years that we have been a quote unquote country. Let that sink in. Let's do some critical thinking here. We are the bad guy. Kansas is also making it illegal essentially to be a trans person. They're taking away their driver's license if you have an identity marker that doesn't match your gender assigned at birth. This is incredibly dangerous, and I'm not sure what we can do other than protest and donate to mutual aid and contact our senators and representatives. But if you have any specific resources, please again, send me an email and let me know so I can amplify. There's so much more going on that I'm sure I've missed. I know Ice deserted a blind man at a gas station like 5 miles from his home, and he was found dead 5 days later. I don't talk about all of this to make us lose hope or feel depressed, but to encourage you to use your own voices, to show up and use your gifts and talents in whatever ways possible to fight for the liberation of all peoples. Anger is a powerful, powerful emotion, and we can channel it and funnel it towards progress. It is the tiny steps we're taking every day that is going to lead to liberation for all. Okay. Anywho, let's get into the astrology of the week. The BFD transit, the big freaking deal. We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo on March 3rd. This eclipse is taking place at 12 degrees. If you have any planets or placements around 12 degrees of Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you're the main characters. This eclipse is going to bring you back to September of last year, but then also March and April of 2025 and September of 2024. There is some theme, a thread, a storyline that is being woven and carried out through this eclipse series. This is a full moon lunar eclipse conjunct the south node. Translation, that means we are letting go, releasing something. There is an ending. Important things can be illuminated under the eclipse. There can be important revelations that take place in your life, events that unfold, people that you meet. It all feels fated and destined in some way, and it has the power to change your trajectory and life direction. It is very possible that this energy can manifest in an exciting way for some of us, and it can manifest in a devastating way for some of us. And because life is life, maybe we get a little bit of both. If you want to know more about what this eclipse means for your personal zodiac sign and rising sign, and more details about this eclipse, you can tune into my daily horoscope podcast. I have full-length episodes and horoscopes for your zodiac sign and rising sign available on my Patreon for $3 a month, and you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead, just to help you plan out your life. Because this week there is so much going on. There are so many major aspects. I had a difficult time selecting which ones I wanted to talk about. But if I had to pick the best aspect of the week, it would be Thursday, March 5th. We have the sun in Pisces forming a trine with Jupiter in Cancer. This is taking place at 15 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 15 degrees of the water signs specifically, you're going to feel the benefits of this the most intensely. This energy is beautiful for feeling supported, for making progress on some of your goals, for acting in alignment and embodying and identifying with your beliefs, what matters to you, for leading with compassion, for gaining attention and recognition for your authenticity, for healing interactions with other people, for divination work, bringing attention to matters of the heart or what moves you emotionally. So if there is mutual aid or something important that you want to elevate or put out there, whether it's personal or global, collective, this is a great time to share and speak from the heart, because there's just a little extra luck and support on your side, and it's likely that it'll be well received. Worst astrology of the week. Sunday, March 8th, we have Venus in Aries forming a conjunction with Saturn in Aries. Venus is the planet of love, relationships, peace in a global sense. Saturn is a planet of authority, power, restriction, consequences, responsibility, challenges, borders, boundaries. When these two planets come together, it can bring difficulties in our close connections, disappointments, a feeling of being rejected, hearing a no when you were hoping for a yes. Sometimes it also looks like navigating boundaries or making a commitment. And while it can be challenging or uncomfortable in the moment, ultimately it is bringing you a healthier relationship dynamic or some sort of structure to move forward in this connection or contract or opportunity with a little bit more ease and support. So it's very possible that this can be constructive personally, but it also involves some sort of uncomfortable feelings or disappointment or moving through a difficult moment with someone important, or hearing a no, or feeling like you're dealing with a setback regarding a contract, an opportunity, or a passion project in some way. It's also important to remember that I think it was just last week, February 20th, we had the Saturn-Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. So now we have a personal planet, a planet that is closer to us on Earth, moving over and tracing over that aspect. So it's bringing up some of those themes yet again from around February 20th, both on a personal level and a collective level. So keep that in mind. It is very possible that you're moving through some sort of challenging moment around this time. In particular, this connection is happening at 2 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 2 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, you'll feel this the most intensely. Okay, I want to be a little personal and a little honest. This upcoming eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo is exactly on my Venus. Okay, in my birth chart, Venus rules my 3rd house of siblings. So I know that this is going to really kick up something important regarding my sister. And I also know that it is hitting her birth chart and one of her personal planets exactly as well. And it's also exactly hitting 2 very personal planets in my mom's birth chart. So I know that all 3 of us are going to be really moving through it under this eclipse. And all of that being said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up this episode. I cried so hard 2 days ago that my eyes, they're still swollen. I don't know if you can tell if you're watching on YouTube. Please subscribe on YouTube because I do post daily horoscope videos on YouTube. And I will continue with that. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up this extra show, even though I'm having a lot of fun with it. So if you're enjoying it and you enjoy my work, please join me over on Patreon. You can join for free, or you can join and do a 7-day free trial and see if you like it out. There are 2 different tiers. There's a $3 tier where you get 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead instantly every single Sunday. It has personalized horoscopes for all of the zodiac signs. And then there's another tier for $10 a month where you get instant access to those episodes, plus a weekly collective psychic reading. You get a monthly tarot spread, a monthly astrology calendar with all of the important transits. And I also have monthly events. So you can attend and do different classes with me. I have like astrology sessions where it's like, ask me anything, bring questions about your chart or what you're learning in astrology. Tarot readings where we do psychic development. We read for each other. I give you tarot readings. I have group mediumship sessions. These events change every single month. And this month in March, we're doing a spring equinox ritual on March 20th. So if you are wanting to stay in touch and enjoying my work, this is where you can still get access to me and some more of my magic if you're interested. This week we have the 7 of Wands, the Moon, and the 8 of Swords. Anytime I see the 7 of Swords, I'm like, oh my gosh, fighting for your life, defending yourself, protecting yourself, trying to earn your keep, show your worth. Get this sense of exhaustion every time I see the 7 of Swords. And there is this impetuousness to the card in the sense that the figure is wearing 2 different shoes. And this can imply that they were kind of caught off guard, that they weren't ready for battle, and yet they have to defend themselves. Now they are on the top of a hill, so they have a little bit of an advantage. Maybe that's a silver lining in the card. It's like you do have the resources and the ability to prove yourself, but it is going to be exhausting and it's going to require effort. Now, the Moon is also a card that I associate with exhaustion and some of our fears and our subconscious and wanting to escape. So there could be some sort of conflict or issue or experience this week that just makes you want to check out, that is really activating some of your own limiting beliefs, or that is keeping you feeling caged or stuck in some way. We have the Eight of Swords. And in this card, the figure is quote unquote bound. And if you look closer, the bounds are actually pretty loose, and this person could just shimmy out of them. However, they're kind of in this cycle of like a victim mentality and keeping themselves stuck. All of that being said, when I also see the moon paired with the Eight of Swords, there is an opportunity to break free from limiting beliefs and thoughts and anxious thoughts by doing subconscious work. So maybe you need to focus on a grounding exercise, and maybe you need to really stick with it and stay consistent. And that is going to bring you ultimately the success to power through whatever difficulties you're moving through in the Seven of Wands this week. So do the daily meditation, go on your evening walk, drink that extra cup of water in the morning, or whatever it looks like to you. Stretch your body in whatever way feels good, but stick with those small practices, and the ones that are going to bring you back into your body, but also help you explore your subconscious world and your spiritual world as well. And keeping with those practices are going to help you push through any of these thoughts that are keeping you feeling stuck, stagnant, and defeated. Okay, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here. I will obviously update you all next week if I have the emotional bandwidth. I would really hope that I can make another episode next week, but not holding my breath. We'll just take it day by day and see how this eclipse goes. And thank you all again so much for just tuning in to the podcast, for giving me ratings, like leaving comments, subscribing on YouTube. I've noticed more of you are following along for the daily horoscope videos there, and it just really means so much. And I want to do this work for the rest of my life, and it's what I'm passionate about, and I appreciate you all. Okay, be well.